So what do you do when you have a repeatable task that you do and you've got the same prompts, you've got the same context, and you're just sick of creating new chats over and over again? Well, ChatGPT created something to solve this problem called projects, where you can essentially upload knowledge like PDFs or documents, and you can create a set of system instructions or instructions that are specific to that task. So what that essentially means is that you can set your system instructions once, and then you can continue to use the project over and over again. So if you think about those repeatable tasks, you could be creating product requirements, you could be creating job descriptions like we did before, some sort of company initiative. Maybe for that company town hall meeting, you have a project that you set up so that you're just chatting with that over and over again, as opposed to starting a new chat which doesn't have any of your context. And so these projects, they're great for team use because someone on your team could set up a project and then send it to you and you could use it. Now let's walk through an example of setting up a project to create a job description with the same use case that we had before. So I'm in ChatGPT. I'll go over here and I'll click New Project. I'll type in the project name here, job description. You can see here that it says it'll keep your chats, files, and custom instructions in one place, and then you can just keep using them. So it keeps things very tidy. I click Create Project. And now you can see here that I can send a chat like I would before, but the interface looks a little bit different because it's customized for this specific task. But this project isn't that useful yet. And as you can see here, you can add files or you can add instructions. So I could add files like previous job descriptions that we've done. I could add a tone and style guide that we use internally on our HR team. I could add in our company values so they are incorporated into the job description. So in this case, I'll go in and I will find a job description and our company values document. They're going to be uploaded. So here we're going to go in and we're going to add some instructions. So imagine we've got this job description. We want very specific instructions so that it does this very well. So what I'll do is I'll go to Prompt Cowboy and we'll say, write a job description for a UX and UI design job at Apple. And I can come down here and I can click Custom GPT or an agent prompt. So think of this is like a project. So we want very specific instructions for this. And I will click Enter. Now this is going to write out very, very detailed instructions for this specific task. And it's also going to come up with a few questions like Matt showed you before. But in this case, I'm just going to copy the prompt, take it back to the instructions, paste them in here, and then click Save. So now what we have is an assistant that is basically tuned for this specific task. We've got our instructions and we've got our knowledge. And so now when I come in and I say create a new job description for a UI or UX role in Sydney and click Enter, it is going to basically give me the answer using the instructions and the files that we uploaded. So you can see here that it's done a pretty good job. I could definitely go in and refine some of those instructions to even make it a little bit better. But the main point here is that rather than just starting a new chat with no context, you now have a project sitting in your sidebar which can help you do this very, very specific task.